I can't buy the air I breathe. I can't buy the trees. I can't buy the deepest seas. But it don't matter, 'cause they're there for free.
Also wonderful to be here for this project, for this first session with my storytelling friend, Hend Qattaa. Hello, Hend.
Hello, David. Hello, everybody.
How are you?
I'm great.
Great. Well, in a moment, Hend, I'll ask you to introduce yourself. But before I do that, I'd like to just introduce the project a bit more. I'm a storyteller and I live in Exeter in the southwest of England. And in Exeter, we have a wonderful museum called the Royal Albert Memorial Museum. This is the outside of the museum. And it's a Victorian museum, although it's actually backs onto the Roman wall, so it's in the oldest part of our city. And the Royal Albert Memorial Museum is partnering me with this project, which is funded by Arts Council England. So I'm a citizen of Exeter. I'm a storyteller. I've been going to the museum since I was a boy, and I'll tell you more about that in a moment. And I'd just like to say a word of thanks to James in the background, who's in charge of the technical side and much, much more with this project. So thanks to James, who's going to be operating the magic carpet through this project and linking us up. So I'm linking up between here in Exeter in the UK and also with Palestine, and specifically, Hend, you're in Gaza. Is that right? So Hend,
Yes, exactly.
Hend, can I ask you? That's me in England, you in Gaza, Palestine. Can I ask you to tell us about yourself, about storytelling, about why you wanted to be part of this?
Yes, of course. Hello, everyone. My name is Hend Qattaa, and I'm from Palestine, Gaza. I work as a teacher of English for the UNRWA, and I'm also a storyteller, volunteering storyteller at the Hend Qattaa project. Being a teacher, I find that storytelling is a powerful tool to engage my students in the learning process. And I'm really, really delighted to be here with you, taking part, a tiny part in this project. This amazing civilized project that respects and celebrates different cultures around the world. How humane is that? We need more of that. So I'm really proud and delighted to be here with you, sharing a story from my culture.
That's wonderful. You're most welcome. I'm delighted you're here. So I'm going to just show an image from inside the museum, and one of the galleries in the museum is called In Fine Feather, and this is what that part of that gallery looks like. And when I was a child and I used to go to the museum, I was often fascinated by the animals and the birds. There are many, many birds. Unfortunately, they're not alive. These are collected birds that have been stuffed, that have been worked on by an expert taxidermist. And you might be interested to know that in the museum there are more than 12,000 taxidermy artifacts from birds from all over the world. I mean, that's an incredible number. So we're going to start this series with an artifact which is one of those birds, and it's a bird that appears in folk tales in many cultures. It's sometimes it represents wisdom and cleverness, sometimes evil, sometimes creation stories. This bird appears. It seems to appear in stories across cultures. So I'll tell you a story, Hend, and when I've finished my story, would you like to respond by telling another story? So whatever story this artifact or this object makes you think of, or not just the artifact, it could be the story itself, what it makes you think of, you could tell a story in response. And here, are you ready for this?
Oh, yeah. It looks real.
It is real. It's a crow. This is a real crow.
It looks alive, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, as you said, yeah. Here we have the crow as a sign of pessimism. Yeah.
Well, in fact, the story I'm going to tell you, believe it or not, I actually learned from another teacher. I think you probably know her, a teacher in Gaza called Hiba Hamouda. And she taught me this story. So I learned it from Gaza, and I'm telling it back to Gaza and to everybody who's with us live or on the recording. And I invite you all to make comments in the chat, and I'll respond, or we'll respond. So let's begin. Tanya McCann, Ficadim as a man. Long ago, there was a young man with a good heart, but his mother had died. She had told him, "When I go, you must make your way in the world. But whatever you do, my good boy, do not walk with evil." Well, the boy set off on his journey without his mother now. And he walked into the desert, and a long way he walked, and it was hot and it was dry. And he saw ahead of him a camel, and beside the camel was a man lying on the ground. "I've hurt my leg," cried the stranger. The good young man fixed the stranger's leg, bandaged it, and helped him back onto the camel. "You can walk with me." "Who are you?" said the young man. "I am evil." But the young man had forgotten his mother's warning, and he walked next to evil along that path. Further into the desert they came. It was hot and dry. They had run out of water. Finally, the evil one on the camel stopped and said, that hole in the ground, down at the bottom of that hole, there is water. I will climb down." "No," said the young man, "you have an injured leg. I will climb down. Help me." And the evil one climbed down from the camel and tied the rope around a rock and lowered the rope into the hole, and the young man gladly climbed down with the empty water skin. At the bottom of the rope he found clear fresh water, and he filled the water skin. "Now pull us up." "I cannot pull you both up. I will pull up the water first." So the young man tied the water to the rope, and the water was pulled up. "Now pull me up." "Ha ha ha ha, you trusted me." And the evil one rode away on his camel. The young man was left alone in the middle of the desert at the bottom of the hole. Time passed. Days passed. He had nothing to eat. He grew weaker. One night he looked up and saw, through the small hole at the top of that deep well, the full moon. And now, silhouetted against the moon, he saw two black birds flying down. "Ah! Ah!" And the birds flew down and landed at the edge of the hole. And the young man could understand what they spoke to each other. "Friend, it is a month since we met on the night of the full moon. Tell me, what evil have you done since then?" "Ah," said the other, "there is a sheikh's daughter. I put a curse on her so she cannot speak. The sheikh is losing everything. She is his only child, his only hope." "Ah, how would the curse be broken?" "No one knows," said the crow. "The only way to break the curse is to give her water from this well, and to speak over that water words which are holy." "Good," said the other crow. "I have done worse evil than you. I have cursed a city, a city of fountains. I have stopped up the central well with a stone, so that no water flows, and now there is drought. The animals and the people have nothing to drink, and now they are dying. Ha ha! How would the curse be broken? Said the other. Oh, no one will find out the way to reach into the hole and pull out the stone that I placed there. And now, cawing and laughing, the two crows flew away from that waterhole. Well, the young man remembered these words and felt sorry, but there was nothing he could do. He was trapped. More days passed and he grew weaker. He was unconscious. Now finally, a group of travellers came across that desert, and they found that hole, and they knew there was water. One of them climbed down the rope and found the young man unconscious at the bottom. He seemed dead. He was given food. He was brought to the surface, and soon he revived. Oh, I must help! I must help the Sheikh's daughter, who has no power of speech. I must help the people who live in a city of drought that once had water. Well, said the strangers, go quickly. Go quickly in this direction. You will find the Sheikh and his daughter. The young man hurried away. Finally, when he came to the Sheikh's great home, he saw the Sheikh was in despair. Oh, my daughter, she has lost the power of speech. I can cure her. And he brought out a cup of water that he had carried. And he spoke holy words over the water, and he gave it to the girl to drink. And immediately she revived and could speak and could communicate. Oh, Father, let me marry this young man who has saved my life. I will gladly, said the Sheikh. Well, he could marry this rich young woman, but he said, I must wait. First, I must help the people of the desert city. And when he explained to the Sheikh lent him his best white horse, and he rode away quickly, and finally came to that city which was now desert, and the animals were starving and dying, and the people held out their hands. Have you got water? The young man rode past them. He came to the central well. He reached down and found the stone that perfectly plugged that well. And when he removed the stone, the water gushed and poured and ran down the channels through the city, restoring water, restoring green and life. And the people rejoiced. Oh, you have brought our city back to life. Rule over us. You are wise. I will return, said the young man. But first I must go to be married. And he rode away again on the white horse. Now almost a month had passed, when he saw in the middle of the desert a camel, and on the camel was that evil man. I recognise you, said the evil one. Didn't I leave you at the bottom of a hole? You did, said the young man. And he began to tell the story. He told the whole story to the evil one. You got all this, then I will get more. And the evil one rode on his camel to that hole. He hid his camel behind rocks. He tied the rope and lowered himself down. And at the bottom, beside the water, he waited. He knew that night would be full moon. And sure enough, the two crows circled down and landed. Ah! Friend, my spell was broken, the curse undone. The Sheikh's daughter will marry. Ah, said the other, my spell too is broken. Water was returned to the desert city. There is only one way that this news could have been known. There is someone hiding at the bottom of this hole, as there was a month ago. See the rope? And now the stranger, the evil one at the bottom of the well, began to climb, but it was too late, because the crows pecked and scratched at the rocks until the hole broke. The rocks gave way and crashed down, crushing the evil one below. and the crows flew away. But the young man, now he came and found the Sheikh's daughter, and there was great celebration at their wedding, such joy. And then they left for the city of fountains of plenty, where they rule still, wisely and well. Thank you, Heba Hamouda, who told me that story.
Amazing.
It's a beautiful story.
Amazing, yeah. And you told it very beautifully as well.
Oh, thank you. Is it a story that you know, Hend?
Yeah, I know a bit of it, but yeah, now you refreshed that. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, feel free to write comments about the stories that you're hearing, but I'm going to go straight over to Hend. And you've listened to the story that I chose to tell, that's inspired by the crow from the museum. Is there a story that you would like to share that's also maybe related to a crow or related to the story that I told?
Yes, related to the crow. I've been practicing to tell stories bilingually lately, like English and Arabic together, and
that's perfect for this project because we're not just sharing cultures, we're sharing languages. So when you tell the story, will you tell it in English and in Arabic?
Yeah, I'll weave in Arabic. Yeah, I'll tell it in English, but yeah, you will hear Arabic.
Oh, that's just fantastic.
So yeah, one of the attempts at telling a story bilingually was the story of Darwish, and in that story, the crow is a very important character. So I will be telling the story of Darwish, and this is the first time I will tell the story live. So I hope you'll like it.
I'm gonna love it.
It's for you.
It's not for me, it's for everyone around the world.
Exactly, yeah. But it's the first time, yeah. So wish me luck.
You don't need it, you'll be great. Oh, you're going to play your oud.
Yeah, this is the oud. I prefer to call it oud. It's lute, yeah, in English.
Lute. It's like an Arabic lute. Fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, so my story, Darwish story. كان يا مكان في قديم الزمان وما يحلى الحكي إلا بذكر النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام. There was a farmer named Darwish, and he was simple and naive. بماعة الدجاجات وبسرق الريش. His wife Fahima was smart and patient, but would often get frustrated by his behavior. She realized one day that they needed more money to get by, so she asked her husband Darwish to take their only cow to the market and try sell it for 10 or 20 lira. حضرت هالزاد والزوادة لزوجها الأهبل درويش وجابت له البقرة وأعطت إياها وقالت له روح بيع البقرة and come back before sunset. Do you understand? Poor Darwish had no choice but to go to the market with that cow, and he was singing happily on his way to the market without any reason. يا زين يا زين يا زين العابدين يا ورد مفتح بين البساتين يا ورد مفتح بين البساتين. And of course, Darwish got tired on his way to the market, so he decided to stop under a tree to have some rest and to eat his lunch. He tied the cow to the tree وفرش منديل الزاد والزواد ولسه بيسمي بيقول بسم الله عشان ياكل. He heard a crow caw just above his head. اطلع فوق وقال أهلين يا غراب. What did you just say? I didn't hear you. You want to buy this cow from me? Now, what do you think the crow replied? The crow replied, رد الغراب وقال قا قا قا. I think you do it way better than me, David. So Darwish looked again and he said, okay, do you have 20 lira to buy this cow from me? رد الغراب وقال okay, where's the money then? Buried under the tree? رد الغراب وقال So Darwish got up, he قام على حيله صار يفحر تحت الشجرة, يفحر تحت الشجرة, thinking that he would find money under the tree. بس ضلوا يفحر تحت الجسر، يفحر. فجأة he found a big pot filled with golden lira. يا ترى يا درويش إيش حتعمل في هدول الذهبات؟ حتوديهم لزوجتك الغلبانة فهيمة؟ You know what Darwish did with that big pot filled with golden liras? He counted 20 lira. He took only 20 lira from that pot and buried the rest under the tree. اطلع على الغراب وقال: يا غراب، هاي البقرة صارت إلك، أنا أخذت 20 ليرة ورجعت الباقي تحت الشجرة، مع السلامة. وكان درويش he set out for home again. He was so happy and he began to sing gleefully عشان نباع البقرة للغراب. يا زين يا زين يا زين العابدين، يا ورد يا ورد مفتح بين البساتين، يا ورد يا ورد مفتح بين البساتين. Darwish arrived home. When Fahima saw him, she was surprised. إيش مرجعك بدري على وين البقرة؟ I sold the cow to the crow, said Darwish. بعت إيش لمين؟ وين المصاري؟ إيش بتحكي أنت؟ Here is the money if you don't believe me. When Fahima saw the money, she couldn't believe her eyes. Where did he get this money from, she thought. And then she grabbed him. مسكته من خناقه ما سابته إلا لما قالها القصة مطقطق لسلام عليكم. Poor Darwish told her the whole story. So Fahima, when she heard the story, she ran as fast as she could towards the tree, and she found the cow tied to the tree. فحرت تحت الشجرة, dug under the tree, and she found the pot. طلعت حواليها وخبت الجرب أوعيها وطلتها مروحة على البيت. When Darwish saw her, he was shocked. You stole the money and the cow, the crow? حرام عليك، ليش هيك عملتي؟ فهي خافت لزوجها الأهبل يحس بالذنب and that he would go to the ruler to tell him the whole story, the money and the gold. So she hatched a plan. She went to the kitchen and she made lots of awama. And here is the awama. Awama is a type of dessert shaped in small balls. It's crispy from the outside and fluffy from the inside. It's really delicious. So she made lots of awama and she went up at the top of the house and she began to throw the awama up in the air. درويش كان في البيت، طلع من الشباك وقال: It's raining. It's raining awama. طلع درويش برا البيت وصار يغني ويجري ويقول: يا حلاوة يا ولاد، الدنيا بتشت عوامة. He was catching the awama and eating it. الدنيا بتشت عوامة. But why did Fahima do that? A couple of days later, Fahima and Darwish had a row. And Darwish was كتير زعلان منها، كتير زعلان منها. He threatened her he would go to the ruler يحكوا له القصة مطقطقة السلام عليكم. بس Fahima, she didn't seem to care. روح احكي للي بدك إياه، مش فارقة معي. Darwish was serious. He went to the ruler. He told him about the money and the cow. طبعا الحاكم ما كذب خبر، بعت ورا فهيمة وإجت فهيمة. And Fahima was brought to the ruler. And when the ruler asked Fahima about the money and the cow, she said, سلامة بسلمك يا سيد الحاكم، هذا زوجي أهبل ومنيل درويش. He imagines things that never happen. And if you don't believe me, sir, ask him when this incident happened. The ruler asked Darwish, أمتى صار هالحكي؟ It happened, sir, on that day when it rained عوامة، تتذكر؟ ده أهبل ومنيل، حكي الحاكم. الله يعينك يا فهيمة على هالزوج الأهبل. May God grant you strength and patience, Fahima. Please take your husband and go home. We're very sorry. There's nothing here to question. Fahima took Darwish and they set out for home. And this time Fahima was singing to Darwish. دراويش دراويش يا خي دراويش، عالخبز والمي يا خالي من عيش. دراويش دراويش يا خي دراويش، يا خي دراويش. Poor Darwish.
Poor Darwish. Oh, Hen, that was amazing. That was absolutely, what a fantastic story to respond to the story I told about the The
Crow.
in your story, the crow wasn't evil. It was all about Darwish's foolishness
Yeah,
in a way,
exactly. Yeah.
and a very smart wife
Yeah.
that Darwish has.
Okay.
How do you spell Darwish?
Dervish, D-A-R.
I'm going to write it in the chat. Hang on. D-A-R
R-W.
W
E-E-S-H.
double E Darwish. Is that the name of the story?
Yes. This is, the folk tale, Dervish, yeah.
There's lots of people commenting on the story. I mean, saying, beautiful instrument. Maria Teresa Tere saying, how fantastic to hear both languages. Hi, Tere in Argentina. We'll be looking forward to your story. Gorgeousness. Shelley Verma in Switzerland. Wow, loved it. Wonderful. Amazing. Wow. People are just enthralled. If anybody wants to ask Hend a question, ask it quickly, because it takes a little bit of time to come through sometimes.
Yeah.
So, you love the oud playing as well. This is something you often do with stories.
Yeah, I like to accompany my storytelling with music. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I mean, storytelling itself is so powerful. So when you tell a story with music, I feel it's even more powerful.
It gives it another dimension.
Yeah.
Oh wow, Hend, it's such an honour and such a treasure that you're with us.
Thank you very much.
Everybody listening, I'm sure you've enjoyed it. This is the first of 44 storytelling encounters that are going to be happening between now and November. And the next one, tune in on Thursday, that's 2 days' time at 9 a.m. UK time. So it's a very different time of day, with my friend and storyteller Priyanka Chatterjee, who's in Delhi in India. So looking forward to that already. And there'll be in-person events as well in Exeter as part of this project. The first one's in the 3rd of August. So we'll keep you updated at the Royal Albert Memorial Museum. And please do share this video and tell your friends about it, because this is a truly global project. So Hend, it only remains for me. I'll just check, see if there isn't a last comment to read out to you. Oh, and somebody called Tammy, in fact that's my wife, is saying, it's great to hear the contrast in moods between the two stories. And that's true, isn't it? My story was quite dark.
Yeah.
And
yeah, exactly.
Definitely had that crow evil in it. And then yours was beautifully light-hearted and brings some joy and some refreshment for us.
Yes. Thank you, Tammy.
Okay, well, thank you ever so much, Hend. And I'm just going to show that logo again, just in case people missed it at the beginning, because this is the project logo, which I'm really excited about.
Oh, it's lovely.
I'll say goodbye, Hend, and see you again soon. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. Goodbye, everybody.
I can't buy the deepest seas, but it don't matter, 'cause they're there for free.